Welcome everybody, Ralph Havens here, autoimmuneanswers.com. You've probably been with me for a while if you're watching these videos and working with me one-on-one and that sort of thing. And what do you do when you stall out? It's inevitable. At some point, you've got a lot of energy and a lot of motivation and you're working on some cool stuff and things are changing in your life. And but then the ebb and flow of things, right? What do you do when it stalls out? When it's like, oh man, it's just it was going so well and now it seems to be a little flat and that sort of thing. And I was thinking about it, and one of the things I noticed is there's a lot of stuff that I have given you, and a lot of stuff that I'm sure you're doing and working on, and some stuff that's been really useful, and some stuff that you've kept as your routine, as your ritual of stuff to do. But it's easy to miss some stuff. And while you can't do every bit that I show you, there's certain parts that are very important to get in. It's some of the things that I missed over the years from my different teachers, my healers, coaches, master Qigong teacher. And so I want to make sure you get this and do this and know what it is. So when you stall out, when things are going a bit flat, what is that all about and what can you do? There's a few things that are really important. One is, of course, staying happy. And how do you stay happy, especially if you're stalling out a bit, if things have kind of gone a little flat and the business or the health or your happiness or what you've been working on, it's like, yeah, you're making some changes, things are getting better, but it's like, it's not fast enough, and you kind of lose your motivation and your oomph for all that stuff. So one of the things I noticed is staying curious. And so the funny thing is, if you stay curious about life and about people, some really cool stuff happens. So so that's been my what I've noticed with myself is when I'm interacting with people in public and of course clients and everybody else, if I'm curious about what's up with them and what's going on and what do they really need, there's something that starts to spark in me. And it also goes with being curious about things like, if business isn't going right, being curious, like what else is needed? I wonder what else I can learn. What other teacher can I benefit from? With my teachers that I'm using right now, what can I do? Maybe I start to work a little bit more with this one or something like that. And staying curious is really important. One of my teachers, Kim Burnham, told me years ago, she had a joke, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And everybody's like, yeah. And she goes, so the secret is to keep learning new tricks. It keeps you young. So when you stay curious and keep learning and keep growing and keep seeing who's the next coach, who's the next healer, what's the next training, what's the next thing to do, it keeps you curious and it keeps you going in the right direction. It keeps momentum going. And, the people that I've seen succeeding, getting healthy, getting happy, getting whole, getting business things going, getting jobs that they like, moving to places they want to live, doing things they want to do, solving ways that they've been working with their business and their work so that now the inner game stuff is cleared. And the people that really move the needle, that get things done and start to get life better and better and better are the ones that stay curious. They're the ones, you guys that take the courses and actually do the courses and dive in and go all out and stay curious about life and learning. So that's really key. And I want to applaud you for that, because that's not what most people do. Most people go to distractions, and it activates a lot of chemicals in your brain. When you got something to do, if you instead go to Facebook and just kind of check in, it activates some chemicals in our body, the happy chemicals. And so the distraction then makes us feel good, and we're pleasure-seeking creatures. So, but then you don't get the thing that you're working on. So I applaud you for working on stuff and being curious and taking the courses and working with the healers and the coaches and taking the next step and taking the plunge and doing stuff, because that being curious about life and about learning and about other people, that's really key. What happens is happiness starts to come in to your being. So that's one of the keys. I was thinking about it this morning as I was doing my meditation and Qigong, and there was more to that. But curious is a very important part. Now, another part that I missed for many, many years, I was told by my Qigong teacher many, many years ago to do this one thing, and I missed it. I missed it. And then it was years later that one of my coaches told me to do this thing, and it really made a big difference. And then I realized that my Qigong teacher had been telling me this all along. So the other thing to do is to keep your attention on what's happening in your body. And you can do that right now. You know, if you've been working with me now and doing the stuff, there's some parts that we've worked on where you go inside your body, and you can do this now. You go inside and feel what's happening in your body and just stay present to it. Just stay there, not trying to fix it. And what's cool is some internal wisdom starts to show up, and you'll be led to things that are like, oh, I'm going to work more with this person. I'm going to do even more of this. These are the parts that I'm not going to compromise on, whether it's something in health or something in business or something in a relationship or happiness, your self-care. This is the thing I'm going to keep doing. And one of the things that I recommend doing is this spending time going inside your body and noticing what's happening in this moment. And you can do this. You can do this now. And just stay inside your body. Now, one of my teachers who uses a lot of matrix energetics, he said it's cool, this matrix energetics and going into the stillness and the space and the place of infinite possibilities and trusting that it's done. All of that is super cool. And if you've been working with me, you've been hearing some of this stuff and playing with some of the ways to do this. But it's also cool, he was saying, and I've noticed, is to do something while in that state. Because you have access to this wisdom, not knowledge, but wisdom. Because you're going inside your body, even right now. And you'll know what to do. It's like, oh, I'm going to continue working with this person. Or I'm going to do more of this technique, this going inside my body thing every day. I'm not going to compromise on that. Or I'm going to learn how to do this in business, and this is how I'm going to learn it. Or I'm really going to go do these nutrition pieces that Ralph was talking about. Or these things to get healthy. Or these exercises. All the stuff I've given you. Whatever you find is like, you'll get that wisdom of what to do. Now, some of it might be a jump, right? Some of it might be like, wow, I guess I got to go spend some more money or work with this person more closely or really do my work and dive in and spend the time. And it's kind of cool when you notice it and it's like, it makes you a little nervous. Like, oh my God, it's going to cost some money, or it's going to take a time commitment, or I'm really in now. And what happens then, you're curious and you've committed to yourself by deciding to do something, continue to work on a deeper level with somebody or with some training or the time spent every single morning to do certain parts. It can make you a little nervous, a little butterflies, a sort of excitement, but like, right? Now, can you imagine what it's like to live like that? Staying curious about life, curious about other people, curious about your training and your healing and your business and your work and everything else, staying curious. And then taking the next step. If you've stalled out, it might be that it's time for the next step, right? Like working some more with somebody or really taking the time commitment and saying, oh yeah, all that stuff that, that Ralph gave me, the exercises, the going inside technique. I'm going to make sure I do that every morning. I'm going to take the next level of this or that. And what happens when you're curious and you take the next jump is you've got the momentum going. You've got the momentum going. You've told the universe, hey, I'm in, but not just in a thinking about it, metaphysical, I hope I win the lotto kind of way, but more like, no, I'm in and I'm going to do the work. And I'm going to continue with my training. And then you're no longer stalled out. You're moving. You're curious. There's an excitement. You've got some stuff to do. And then you get some wins, some more wins, and now you're rolling again. Yeah. What I've noticed with my work and with my work with my own coaches and my own healers, and I have a lot of them that I work with, is that when it's time, it's time. And it might take me a little time to get there and go, okay, time for the next step. And there's some parts to keep in place. Like, you don't want to keep jumping around and jumping around and jumping around. It's good to take the learning and actually use it, right? And one of the things that I'm giving you today, that if you've been with me for a while now, then you've heard it and you're probably using it, is to go inside and notice what's happening right in this moment. Right in this moment. Because there's more to this technology of this going inside, and I'm using some of it right now, doing stuff in that space. And I want to show you how to do more of that. So all the things that I've given you have been are really useful things. I only give the really, really, really useful things. And I know I give a lot of stuff. And if you've been working with me and doing stuff and doing some of it, but maybe not doing all of it, really encourage you to look through your notes and your videos and your sessions and like, oh yeah, this part. And one of the parts is to go inside and notice what's happening in your body. There's more. There's some other layers to that. We're going to be using them in the Miracles, Magic, Healing, and More session this Sunday. So if you're in that, look for that. How might you stay curious about your situation, your health, your love, your relationships, your money, your business? What's the next step? What's the things to keep in place that you've already learned? What can you commit to time-wise to keep doing? There you go. And I say there you go because I feel it. So whether you're watching this live or you're watching it later, it just keeps working. Right now for you. Because there's a part of this that's called non-local. That's much more to talk about than in this moment, in this video. We'll be doing it on the miracle session. It's a very powerful way to get a lot of stuff done very fast. But for right now, you can stay inside your body and let go of any distracting thoughts. All distracting thoughts, let go of that. And for the next moment, just stay inside your body. There's a wisdom there. It's not knowledge. It's not from thinking. There you go. So let me know what you notice. Let me know what you notice with this video. Let me know how you're going to stay curious about life, especially if you've stalled out a little bit. How do you get to the next level? What's the next level? What parts do you keep from the stuff you've been working on, the coaches you've been working with, the healers, my stuff? And what wisdom do you have? Like, what's the next way to stay curious about your next level? I could stay here all day. All right, so good to see you guys. Let me know what you're noticing. Click subscribe, click like, click share. If you go to the subscribe button, there's a little bell icon that you can click, and then you know when I release my next video. It's pretty much every day. And let me know what's going on. All right, and there'll be links below once it's on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. If you want more information about any other ways to interact with all this. All right, bye now.